interesting too, because when it comes to the auction house industry, one thing I've noticed a lot is it seems to be auction houses that may refuse kind of taking that next step, or like branching out from the norm, or like
the unknown.
The unknown, yeah. And there's a lot of fear that I imagine that's tied to that, and just being uncomfortable because, like you say, you're a small business, you don't have all the tools, and so what you have, you kind of hold on to like it's sacred. And one of those things that, when you don't have all those tools really is time management, and like the wasting of time when you're trying to jump and get these unpaid invoices handled. Is that something that you guys have seen a lot in the industry, and is that something like you guys help with?
Yeah, so so a lot of them, and even the consolidation of data is just so much easier with Shipping Saint. Where there's a lot of auction houses that might use different auction platforms. They might have in-house buyers, but also do what they call a simulcast, also do some online. So how do you get all that data together? And so we kind of streamline that process when it comes to that. And whenever you're talking about the invoicing, that's one of those things where, like at the pack and ship store as an example, they were using PayPal to try to get the invoicing. Most auction platforms do have, invoicing features and all that for the items, but then when it comes to how do you invoice for after the auction for the shipping charges? So some of the auction houses try to go automatically in and they just hit their credit card by entering an amount, but then you have a higher risk of a chargeback because it's like, hold on, I didn't approve that, or they ship it to the wrong address. So not just the invoicing factor, but ours sends out that invoice for the shipping charges based upon the time they take, because it tracks all that. But not only that, it requires the buyer to say, this is the shipping address we have. Is this correct? Yes or no. They have to answer the question. So if they say yes, then that's when they see the invoice and they can pay for the invoice. So we kind of automated that process where the buyer is in more control and the buyer is the one initiating the charges. So the chargeback rate, well, honestly, the chargeback rate on the shipping aspect of things is 0%.
Wow.
For the buyer.
That's great.
Oh yeah,
that's great.